walk like two out the door, then you have magic.
Yes. Hello. Let's pause. Hello. And hello. We are here. Y'all forgive me for making y'all wait, honey. I was trying to wrap up something right quick before I came online. Yes, thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for being here. We got a first timer. I see somebody's a first timer. Ooh, girl. We act crazy over here. So you fit in, honey. We all right though. You will fit in, baby. Thank you for being here. I see everybody here, honey. Yes, we are here. You guys know why we're here. This is our Love and Marriage Huntsville Part 1, honey. This is Part 1 of 3 of the reunion. All right. Thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate it. For those of you who are first timers, honey, thank y'all for being here. I appreciate you. Hopefully everyone hit the like button. We got 162 watching. Hopefully at least 160 of you guys hit the like button. Okay. I appreciate each and every one. All right, let's get into it, honey. Everything said in the video is alleged and in my opinion, and is used for fair use and entertainment. I hope you guys had a great Sunday. I sure did. I cooked down today, y'all. Let me tell y'all before we get into the show, girl. Caramel cooked down today. I tell y'all on Sundays is like my cook day. It's like a traditional type thing for me. It's like it reminds me of like my grandparents and how they taught me how to cook. So I cooked down. I did like steak and like rice and gravy with like the bell peppers and onions and stuff, cooked up in it. Oh gosh, y'all, I cooked down. I did some yellow rice. I did some squash. I did some green beans. I'm trying to stay away from bread. So I ain't do no cornbread or nothing like that because we're trying to stay slim in the waist out here, honey, because we fine over here. And we want to stay that way. But yeah, and then for dessert, my husband wanted apple pie, so we had that. But yeah, y'all, we ate down today. God. Yes, honey, we did. But Cameron cooked down, and I said, I'm going to get this damn review ready because I got to get upstairs and do what I got to do. But we are here. Oh, God, it was delicious, Victoria. Yes, ma'am, it was. Somebody said, where's my plate? I'll have to FedEx it to you, honey, because we be cooking over here. We do. And we cook old school. I told y'all, grandma and grandpa and them, they taught me how to cook. And mama, and I stayed in the kitchen watching, so we got it good over here. Yes, we got. Yes, God, we do. All right, let's get into the show. Enough about me, honey. Let's talk about these clowns. This is season 6, honey. Episode, they call it 32. Love and Marriage Huntsville Reunion, part 1 of 3. So we got 3 episodes. It was 3 episodes for the reunion, okay? With 3 parts, really. Of course, it is filmed in LA, okay? Somebody said, Caramel, you slim over there? We slim thick. Somebody said, am I slim? I'm slim thick, all right? I got hips. Tummy is on flat, ass is on fat. I keep telling y'all that. And we trying to keep it that way. All right. But yeah, we slim thick over here. And I like that. I like it. I look in the mirror, I'll be like, girl, you a bad bitch over there. Oh, anyway, moving on. Let's get on into the show though. Thanks for being here, Harold. Okay. All right. So as I was saying, the reunion was actually filmed in LA. Okay. So they filmed it in LA. All right. So the cast, let's sort of get into the beginning of the reunion. The cast arrives they arrive in their personal cars. Thank God they had their car service this year, because y'all know that in the Mel was fussing them out for not having their own car service. So listen, they had their own car service, thank God. So the cast arrived in their cars. Melody, she gets out of her car, honey, with her team, and she says, y'all are real calm this morning. Y'all ready to go in here and get this thing started. So they're doing their thing. So she has her team. Mel goes inside. She finds her dressing room, and she notices that on the door they have Melody Rogers versus Hope. Because y'all know last year, honey, she was Hope. So this year they got the right name on the door. So Melody, she's happy. She's like, yeah, see, they already starting out right. She says, I can already tell, honey, that this is going to be a great, great reunion because they already starting out right. Put my name on the door. So Melody arrives alone. Kimmy arrives alone. I'm sorry, without Maurice. For some reason, they didn't ride together. I don't know why. So Kimmy, she's in her car. Like I said, she goes into her dressing room, which is labeled Kimmy and Maurice. Am I blurry? I don't know why. Oh Lord, StreamYard. Please, let's get through it. All right. She speaks to her glam squad. Can everybody see me? Can everyone see me? They're saying we're blurry. Please refresh your devices, because if I do it, I will lose you. Okay. Not sure what the hell is going on. I hope we get through this video. Marceau arrives. Tisha is not with him. He has his car service. I'm not sure why they didn't arrive together. Maurice, he finally arrives apart from Kimmy. He joins Kimmy in their dressing room. Okay. All right. So then Kiki arrives by herself, of course. She speaks to her glam squad. They're doing their thing. Everybody's starting to get ready to start getting dressed. Stormy arrives with Courtney. He's in tow. Martell comes busting in the door, child. And speaking of busting, them damn shorts he had on, oh my God. Like, did he have on knock shorts? I think they were knock shorts, child. He walked up in there with them tight ass shorts on, child, and ball busters. I said, where the hell are you going with these damn shorts on, Martell? He had on his long sleeve church shirt, child. He had on some shirt, his tight ass khaki looking shorts, like I said, Lord. So then he speaks to the person sitting up front at the desk, and then he painfully, I gotta say painfully, go upstairs, child, with them damn shorts on. I said, child. He went to go locate his dressing room, gets to the dressing room, his door is locked. So he can't even get in. He kind of looks around, he's embarrassed, you can tell, because the camera crew was like right there filming him. So he has to wait for somebody to unlock his door. Carlos then comes out of his dressing room to go and greet the cast. Of course, he goes to greet Melody first, because y'all know she's the queen or whatever. He knocks on Mel's door, and she's happy, of course, to see him. She's getting all glammed up, getting her makeup done, lashes on, and he asked if she's, if she's wearing the black wig or she's gonna do the blonde wig. Of course, she said she's gonna do the black wig, okay, because she got a different look or whatever. So he asked her how she's doing, and she said that he said, are you going to talk during the reunion? Because you guys know last reunion, she was upset at everybody. She wasn't fooling with nobody. She was just kind of sitting there on mute, child, looking cute and on mute. She won't think about nobody because everybody done pissed her off. She won't friends with nobody. So production then rolls tape showing Melody kind of sitting there upset, not speaking to nobody, just kind of looking like this in her own world, honey. All right, so Martell, okay, let's get some, hold on. Okay, yeah. All right, so next, Carlos goes to visit Kimmy and Lyrese, honey. Kimmy and Lyrese, aka Maurice. And Kimmy, of course, she's getting her wig on, child, etc., etc. Carlos then says to Maurice, says that I thought Martell was the most hated on TV, but says that but you kind of took that title. And so then Kimmy says, yeah, he climbed right up the ranks real quick, trying to be, funny or whatever. So then Carlos then goes to visit Martell, which then he asked him, he said, you kind of looking swole, meaning his physique, meaning he been working out a lot because he ain't doing shit else. All right, so he says, are you getting a home-cooked meal? Trying to be messy. Y'all know Carlos is messy as hell. So Martell kind of has this long pause, and he says, well, that's the problem. Nobody wanted to cook meals or whatever, which we saw Ariane with her lying ass on social media talking about she cooks for them every day. Well, Martell just came out and said that you don't. So somebody lied. All right, I know you ain't over there cutting them hard ass potatoes with that butter knife every day. I know you ain't, girl. And Martell confirmed that. Okay. Moving on, child. Yeah. So then he goes to visit Courtney and Stormy. Carlos says that don't throw no money at me, Courtney, because he was, kind of picking at Courtney when he threw the money at Marceau when they were at Black. Okay. And then Courtney, he just kind of laughs. Courtney's kind of shy, I'm noticing. He don't really say many words. But he's acting real shy and standoffish a little bit. So Carlos says, just know that I'm the good guy. Trying to make jokes to kind of feel them out and ha ha ha. So Courtney then says, okay, with this real shy grin. So Carlos says, we're good, Courtney, because I'm scared of you. Courtney look like if he got a rumble, he'll go and put them paws upon you, baby. He look like he'll do it. Them quiet ones you gotta watch because they will tear off in your ass without notice. All right, so Courtney laughs, like I said, while Stormy kind of looks over at him to kind of check to see what his vibe is while Carlos is speaking to him. So Carlos then goes in Kiki's room and he speaks with her. He says, so we're going to keep the drinks on the table today, right? He was kind of joking. I think he meant it because y'all know Kiki will pop off, baby. So Kiki said, well, this don't even have no drinks in here, So Carlos looking like, I ain't not gonna start no shit here at the reunion now, okay? He goes to see Tisha and Marceau. They are dressed in boxing gear, looking crazy like straight up clowns. I was like, y'all, it's like everything with them was rehearsed. Everything with them was rehearsed. I was thoroughly annoyed by them too. I was like, y'all are being so freaking extra right now. Marceau was jumping around on this shit right here like he was ready to go in the ring. Tisha had on her hoodie and this whole robe thing like she was a boxer as well, looking crazy, laughing at Marceau, jumping around like a damn clown. Carlos, he thought it was totally ridiculous. And Tisha's over there in the corner. The champ is here. The champ is here. I was like, no, the clown is here, girl. You meant the clown is here, okay? So production enrolls shows some type of video of this person in the ring kind of throwing punches or whatever. I was just like, y'all can lift that shit out. Like, that's like a space filler or something. Like, what? A hot damn mess. And they're showing a series of things of Marceau, like a little playback where he's saying that he don't like fake people, where Stormy was calling him a bitch. Courtney saying that Marceau is always in people's business. Melody saying that everybody needs to handle their scandal. And then Kiki saying, get mad, scratch your ass. I don't give a F. Y'all remember that when she threw the whole drink on Tisha. Okay. Thanks for shout out for 400 in the building, guys. Let's hit the like button to support the channel. All right. Thanks for being here. Now they're actually ready to start the show. Martell is buttoning up his tight ass jacket, baby. I don't know how he got it on. He's looking in the mirror, child, at them new bags under his eyes. Okay. Y'all know he already had that surgery to get them cut out. He got some more up under there now. He's laying up thinking about mail. Kimmy, she's walking towards the stage with Maurice. They're getting ready to go in. So all the cast are seen leaving their dressing rooms, getting ready to head to the stage at this point, okay? To be announced and seated, because Carlos is telling them as they come in where they're going to be seated, all right? So Carlos is getting the last little touches on his Maybelline child on his face with his little makeup they want to push on his face. Okay, yeah. So first up to be introduced to the stage is the most irrelevant ones of all, Kimmy and Maurice. All right. So they're both walking. Maurice goofy ass steps on the back of Kimmy's dress and almost makes her fall. I said, look at this mother. Like, oh my God, he is such a clown. I was like, how the hell you step on her dress? Like, pay attention. He's so clumsy. You could have made this woman straight fall on national television from you stepping on her dress. And she literally almost fell. She had to catch herself. And she kind of looked back at him like, bitch, I know you didn't try to make me fall out here on camera. Like, you could tell she was visibly annoyed by it, but she still tried to roll with it. Like, she didn't want to really give him the business because the cameras was rolling. All right. So Carlos then says to Maurice, Maurice, for once in your life, can you have her back? Says that God leave me. So Kimmy looked back at him like, God leave Maurice. Like, damn, you know, up and stepped on my dress. So Carlos then says to Maurice, that we know you like to guard her front, but let's guard her back. I was like, well, he might be back there too if he's having them type of ambitions. Y'all know Maurice keep an ambition, baby. So he got the front cover, but it looked like he might be back there sometime too. You know, I don't know. I won't be nobody's business. So he gives back door. Maurice gives totally back door. He does. Martell does too. Both of them give back door. All right, so let's keep going. Carlos then greets Kimmy and Maurice. They show each other affection and they sit down. Next up is Carlos. Carlos gives it up for the go-getter, which is the go-getters rather, which is Marceau and Tisha Scott. When are they go-getters? I'm trying to figure that out. How they get that title? Tisha comes out looking like a whole ghetto figure skater, y'all. Tisha comes out looking like a ghetto figure skater with this get up on, this green looking dress with all these beads and shit on here. With the lace front peeling up on the side, because y'all know I see everything. Y'all know I don't miss anything. All right. So the lace front's peeling up on the side, child, with this looking like Show Enough off The Last Dragon with this damn ponytail up in the front. I said, what the hell? Then she had on these silver, Payless strap-ups, silver Payless strap-up Easter shoes, child, with the toes out. And you know she didn't have her toes done because Tisha don't keep her feet done. Y'all know that. So it looked like some shit that she went and painted backstage and then slid them cheap ass shoes on and took her ass out there. I said, girl, need you get it together. So she walks out, honey, like she owned it. I was like, but you did not own it. Okay. You did not own it. Green, you had on the right color, honey. Green for envy, because we all know that you be envying everybody else. So Marceau walks out, baby. He walks out like he Denzel or somebody. Baby teeth in tow. You couldn't even see no teeth. He doing all this smiling, big smile, but we still ain't seen no teeth. I said, what were your teeth? Did you leave your teeth back there on the dresser while you was getting dressed? Now we see all this shit here, but I don't see no teeth. Like, go back and get your teeth and come back. All right. So they come out and then they greet Carlos. They go sit down. Next comes up is Carlos says, give it up for Stormy and Courtney. Still, he's trying to be smart because y'all know that's how Marceau tried to try them. All right, so then he kind of corrects it real quick after he actually knew he made the error, but he was trying him. All right, because he knows that Courtney don't like to be called Steele because he's Beasley. All right, so then Marceau kind of looks like, oh my God, Carlos, you really said that, So Carlos says that we got to make sure that we get it right now, as if he didn't know he said it. So Courtney says, yeah, get it right. Like, don't play this. Don't start that now. Don't start it. So they, of course, both Courtney and Stormy have on like this soft pink. And I didn't like Courtney's outfit. I didn't like Courtney's outfit. It was this baby pink. Okay, look like something you wear to like a baby shower. It's that type of pink. Okay. Kind of like a bubblegum pink. And then the shirt was kind of like a silky like shirt, and it blouse. I'm gonna say blouse. The shit looked like a blouse. It was real tight on his stomach. Looked like he was about to bust up out of it. He was ready to give birth any minute because his stomach was like looking huge in that shirt. I said, damn. Who is y'all stylish, child? Up next, they go and sit down after they greet greet Carlos. Next up is Martell, child. He walks out like he is the cream of the crop, honey. Like he just knew he was the shit. Okay. Suit was so damn tight. Okay. His suit was tight as hell. His pants was riding up in the back like he had a whole full-fledged wedgie. All right. And then he still had on them same patent leather shoes that he had on last reunion, guys, that Mel called ugly. He said sitting over there with them ugly shoes. He had them same shoes on, I noticed. Okay. The jacket that he had on looked like you can go on to check his damn blood pressure through that damn jacket because it was tight as hell. I was like, shit, why can I see your blood running through your veins through your sleeve? Damn. But I think he had on tank suit. He done bought a tank suit, and then he had this little flap in the front. I don't know what he was trying to cover up because Mel already said he won't packing down there. So I don't know why he had that little flap hanging down in the front looking crazy as hell. I said, well, if you don't take that off like you trying to make a little skirt or something in the front, that was looking a hot damn mess. The suit was red. Then he had on this white shirt. He was looking a mess. Anyway, trying to cover up that crotch. Well, nothing down there anyway. Because I feel like he got a vagina. I said it. So Carlos then asked, is this a Carlos original? Talking about Martell's suit. So Carlos kind of shows Martell his seat, but then Martell was about to sit in Carlos' seat. And Carlos was like, this is my seat right here. You sitting over here. All right, so then Martell, he goes and sits down over in his seat. That shit was funny. He tries to sit down, but the suit was so damn tight. I said, why do I hear threads popping when Martell's sitting down? I was like, sir, what you got on this 3T suit? It's like the damn, he couldn't even sit down. You can tell he was so uncomfortable when he sat. And he had to sit with his legs like all the way gapped open, like he was about to give birth, or he was about to get a whole, the doctor was about to go down there and give him a whole pap smear. That's how his ass was sitting with his lap, with his legs all open, like he was about to have a pap smear on stage. I said, what the hell going on here? Suit was tight as hell, y'all. All right, so then Carlos says, and please, honey, give it up for the newly proclaimed Melody Rogers, honey. So Mel, honey, she walks out, honey. She walks out like this here, honey, like she's owning what she was. She was giving. Now the outfit, it's not something I would wear, but the style of it all, you could tell that she was giving way more than everybody on stage. She outdressed. Tisha shit looked horrible. Kimmy was looking like a whole drunk ass auntie over there with that shit she had on. She was giving prom. And Stormy dress was okay. It was okay, but when Melody came out, it was a different aura about her. It was like she walked out and she owned it from the boots. I totally rocked them boots. But yeah, I wouldn't wear the outfit because the stuff was too stringy for me. But it was giving for her, okay? It was giving for her. She owned it. She came out. They were kind of like clapping like this when she came out. So she comes out, giving it. Uncomfortable. This Martell the whole time Mel walking out. He's adjusting himself. He couldn't be still. He's real fidgety or whatever. I was like, this motherfucker pop locking over there. Like, what are you doing, Martell? He's on this shit here. Adjusting. And I was like, sit still. Melody makes him nervous when she walks in the room, obviously, because he just could not be still. All right, so then he's kind of staring at Mel like in this weird like stare. And somebody said, give it up for Beyonce. She was serving the girls. All right, so and Martell is just sitting there like staring and like smiling, like the smile at Mel. I was like, weird and creepy. Kimmy was kind of like staring at Mel like this. And I noticed it. I picked it up. I saw you, Kimmy. aka Jermaine Jackson with your S curl. This is how Kimmy was looking. Mel walked in and stood in front of her seat. This is Kimmy giving Mel the once over. Like looking at her outfit like, bitch. I was like, you see it, Kimmy. You see it. That's why your ass almost fell when you came in. And that was the Lord trying to push you down because he knew you was going to be hating. That's what it was. But Tara, so Carlos says, you look great. Talking about Mel. So then Melody says to Carlos, says, is the red meaning that you're going to be bringing the fire tonight? And so Carlos says, I am the fire starter, which we know. So he says that this is our 4th reunion. Did you guys ever think that we would make it to number 4? He's asking all the cast, did they ever think they'd make it to number 4? And so Kimmy then says, I'm glad that we made it. She said, I was just glad that we made it to number 1. She says that was really my main concern, because you won't give a shit. Okay, that's why, Kimmy, you should have been concerned, because you ain't gave nothing from the time you stepped foot on the show up until now. So you should have been concerned. So then Carlos says, so Melody, what's new with you? What's new with you? Says with your name being changed back now. Says that last year that you were Hope, and now you're back to being Rogers. Says that, do you feel different? Do you have a sense of freedom? What's new? Of course, they had to put the camera on Martell when they said a sense of freedom, because they wanted to see his reaction, because Martell always gives a reaction. Okay. So the whole time Carlos is, big and male up. This is Martell over there making faces like this is him the whole time. I was like, boy. So Melody said, just freedom. I feel light. I feel amazing. She says that I felt amazing coming here. I was like, I'm gonna have a good time when I get here. That was Mel. I was like, yes, honey. Okay. So whole time Mel talking, this Kimmy giving this the whole time Mel talking. I was like, this bitch, I can't. Like, can you pretend not to be a hater, Kimmy? It's the way she was looking at Mel. It was giving this. I was like, bitch, really? Melody looked super radiant too, y'all. Melody was looking radiant. I was totally feeling all right. Marceau was looking at Martell the whole time Mel was talking, because Martell was totally feeling. She was happy. She was not feeling, was, in any way, shape, or form depressed or even stressed about Martell at all. So to hear that she was happy, Martell, he was feeling that shit. He was feeling the way about it. So Melody says, everybody, she says, everybody's energy just seems great across the stage. So, Martell, he's sitting over there like this. He's giving faces. So, and Melody says, ain't that right, Martell, over there making faces? So she caught that. And he wanted attention so bad, which is why he was doing that. While Melody was getting all the attention, Carlos was giving Mel all the attention. Everybody was clapping for her. Everybody's kind of looking at her while she was talking. So Martell had to, direct the attention back to him by sitting over there acting like a 3-year-old making faces. So Melody called him out like, yeah, nigga, I see you, but the attention is still on me. Sit your ass back if you can in that tight ass suit and chill what they call the fuck out, because you're doing a lot right now, okay? And it's not needed. So Martell was like, yeah. Okay. And Maurice says, good job catching that, Mel, talking about Martell's faces. And so Melody says, you know what? I don't play. I don't play. I don't play, meaning I saw that bullshit over there. So Marty, he did one of those. I said, how immature are you? Like, how old are you? You in your 40s on this bullshit. Like, Martell. He is so jealous of Melody in shows. All right. So Kimmy, she left Martell, which it was kind of like an indirect dig at Melody. I caught that. Kimmy was doing a lot for this reunion, and she was so much so trying to, I guess, be in support of Martell and his bullshit and shenanigans. And I caught that. Okay, so it was a fake laugh, and it was a dig at Melody indirectly. So Carlos then says, Martell, how do you feel? Okay. Thank God he started to give him some attention, because that's all he wanted. Martell says, based on what she just said, no, nigga, how do you feel? He didn't ask you nothing about Melody. He didn't ask you how you felt about what Melody says. He says, how do you feel? Okay. He says, based on what she just said, that's some shit. That's some bullshit. Says that when she was married to me, that she was free. She had great things going on, and shit changed, just her name changed. That's pretty much it. So he on that. So Kimmy laughs out loud, co-signing Martell's bullshit once again. I said, you bald-headed heathen. First of all, why are you co-signing Martell when you already know he wrong? That's the thing I have with Kimmy. A side chick will always be a fucking side chick. She is gonna always side with Martell because she can relate to his antics because she is a fucking side chick. Seriously, like seriously. Sit your ass back, Kimmy. See, you irritating me, and I ain't ready to go there yet. So Melody says, actually, a lot has changed, okay? A lot has actually changed. Carlos says that there's something different about the energy in the room. Says the energy is different. Because y'all know last reunion, wasn't nobody speaking to nobody. So this time he's saying that it's a different energy, and I feel like everybody's in a great mood, okay? And I was like, yes, except for Martell, because he's stay on the bullshit. So Carlos says, let's get back to it. Says that our couples are back to business now, okay? So they're getting ready to get into the whole meat and potatoes of things, okay? He says that all the couples are back to business now as usual. Says that when Tisha and Marceau decided to unofficially bring back the comeback group, says that they were met with a host of allegations about their shady business acronyms, okay? Says, and questions about what really was going on behind the scenes, okay? So, of course, production rolls tape back to the S poll, which is what Tisha calls it. Marceau was then asking Stormy for the $100. We all remember that. Tisha was saying that she wants it to be a free event, but then they wouldn't disclose what was going on with the money side of it because apparently they were saying that they had sponsors or something, but they never wanted to talk about said money that was raised. Then they didn't want to pay Melody and wanted her to do the S poll for free, in which she was like, I don't do speaking engagements for free. If you guys do it, there needs to be some type of payment going out. Thanks so much, Chef Don for being here. Y'all show him some love and check him out on his channel as well. All right, so Tisha was saying that she's releasing a hair care line. Of course, y'all know she used Stormy's shipping policy, which she wasn't supposed to do. And then Stormy telling Courtney about Tisha using her shipping policy, at which she felt a whole way about as well. And then Stormy and Tisha meeting up to discuss Tisha using the shipping policy from Stormy. And of course, Tisha saying that it wasn't a bad look for her because she got us off. So Carlos then says, Marceau and Tisha said to Marceau and Tisha, you guys are in the hot seat because of you guys' business acronym this season, correct? So Marceau was like, were we? Says that I didn't feel that. So then Carlos says, did y'all think that you were good business people? So Tisha was like, the Black Expo was our very first one, and it ran great despite the hate that we received from this group, okay? Courtney and Stormy didn't laugh like that's some bullshit. That was not a great expo. So then Tisha says it was a success, and we had a great turnout, and 2024 is going to be amazing. Like, first of all, ain't nobody said that they were going to participate in no 2024 expo with y'all asses after the way this shit went down this time. Like, it's given no. So Carlos said, who's hating on you in this group or on this stage? Like, who hating on you here? Who here is hating on you? So Tisha said, everybody has something negative to say, okay? They didn't say no congratulations. Ain't no S nowhere in sight, guys. They didn't say congratulations, okay? They didn't say great turnout. They didn't say, guys, you did well or nothing. That's Tisha, child. She wanted a whole pat on the back and everything. So Melody says, well, I actually told you that you had a great turnout. Okay. I ain't tell you this shit was great, but I told you it was a great turnout. So Carlos then says, not Kimmy. Kimmy didn't say. So Marceau then says, not quite. So he jumps in and say, no, Kimmy didn't say that it was a great turnout. No. So Kimmy says, I actually thought it was a great turnout, that it was really nice. Okay. And Kimmy goes on to say that I don't have an issue if something can be better, or saying that something can be better if it can be. All right. And I was like your marriage, girl? No shade but shade. So Tisha then said, at the meeting, Marceau just said, listen, and I was just over it by then. She said that we're trying to do something for the community, okay? And everybody is just not feeling it or whatever. So Stormy looks at her like, child. Like, girl, you ain't doing shit for the community. You ain't doing nothing for the community, girl. Like, stop it. So then Carlos says, Courtney and Stormy says that y'all have been married and working together for years, right? They were like, facts. So Stormy kind of, nods her head, yeah. So he says, do you consider Marceau and Tisha on the level of power couple like you two? Messy as hell, okay? So Tisha then jumps. Oh, Courtney says, I don't know, okay? Courtney, he won't there for the mess. So Tisha jumps in and says, but you mad though. Says that because when you came to Black, that you was like, girl, you better pop your collar or whatever, in terms of trying to say that Black was just popping like that. And I was like, girl, how you popping with only 2 customers in there? Tisha like, girl, no, it's giving no, sis. So Stormy says, well, I ain't got nothing to be upset about, pretty much, girl. So Tisha then says, so they got this back and forth exchange. So Tisha says, when people are in your good graces, that they have positive stuff to say. But then when they mad, then they don't, okay? So she said that what she got to say about me and Marceau, we can give 2 fucks about that, okay? She said, pay them invoices. So Tisha's telling Stormy she need to pay her invoices. I said, girl. So Tisha does this clapping shit, because y'all know when she kind of feeling herself, she started that kind of, girl, pay them invoices. I was like, pay yours, because you are being sued for $5 million for what they call fraud and misrepresentation. Do we need to go down the list of shit that you ain't paid? Because y'all owe everybody, sis. Tisha, you the last one need to be calling somebody out for owing someone, because y'all owe everybody. I got the receipts, and I got time today, okay? Don't do it. All right. She said, go pay them Huntsville people with that TikTok money, boo. So, of course, Melody reacts like, oh, my God. Like, are they doing this? Like, oh, my God. So she kind of grabs her head like, oh, my God. And so then Carlos says, so Stormy don't be paying invoices? And Tisha said, she do not. Says that I've been getting so many calls, and you ain't the only person that she owe money to. I was like, girl, who is calling you about Stormy owing somebody? Tisha, ain't nobody calling you, telling you nothing about that Stormy is on all these people. Who is, girl, stop it. Stop it. So Marceau is kind of looking at Stormy and smiling like, yes, Tisha, get their ass. Because he is thoroughly enjoying that. Because, you know, he don't really like Stormy like that ever since Stormy called him a bitch out here, which I feel like sometimes he do be acting like. So Courtney then says to Stormy, says that that's how you're supposed to do it. Says, just be quiet. Says, it's nothing to do with you. And he's telling Marceau across the rooms, and it's nothing to do with you. Meaning like, stop talking. Okay. Like, don't start it. So then Marceau then says to Courtney, says you do it. Says that I ain't know nothing about this, meaning what Tisha was saying to them and or this whole exchange. So Carlos says that, what are you saying? Because this whole exchange and everything going on with Tisha talking, and then with Courtney and Marceau talking, Carlos want to make sure he is in on all of it. He said, what are they saying? So Tisha saying that she owes invoices, and we ain't the only ones that she owe. So Carlos is kind of looking at Stormy and Courtney like, what is going on here? So Stormy says, when it comes to business, I think it is very low to try to throw low blows. Okay. Says that we're all entrepreneurs who are learning and navigating our way. Says that we don't have the resources or the the mentors to guide us. Okay. She says that I blew up overnight. That dude didn't holler at me. Okay. So then Tisha says that you ain't the only one making money. We're all millionaires. I said, when this happened? I've been watching since season 1. We become millionaires. And I know skip no episode. When y'all become millionaires, stand where y'all stay across the street from the gas station. When y'all become a millionaire? I'm trying to figure that out. Y'all stay in this little tiny ass apartment, okay? And then that little tiny 5x7 house that y'all ass staying across from the damn gas station with them 3 little stairs that y'all go up. Y'all still ain't built y'all house over there because y'all ain't got the money to do the shit. Y'all owe the excavation company $60,000. Y'all sitting on a $5 million lawsuit. You like, do we need to keep going? Like, oh my God, y'all are not millionaires. Stop it. Stop it. Tisha, y'all owe back taxes. I already did a live about the shit. How are you millionaires? Let me do Tisha. How are you a millionaire when y'all owe back taxes? Y'all got abatement charges. Y'all know I know the shit over here. I can pull up receipts right now on all the shit that they owe. All right, so I was like, why is all these lies coming out? I'm talking about y'all millionaires. So, and then dressing how you dress, Tisha, is giving no. You don't never keep your feet done either, girl. No. You stay shredding sheets over there with them feet. But, and then y'all scam people as well, allegedly. Okay. It's a lot we can say about that. It's a lot we can say about that. Y'all don't finish no jobs. That's why y'all being sued. Okay. Y'all don't finish no jobs. Y'all ain't built shit. Okay. Child. So Stormy says, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit that you talking about. I was like, oh, Stormy. Y'all know when Stormy get mad, she get the cussing, child. She was like, next. I said, oh, snap. Okay. She said, so you gonna come for me? She said, and you was practicing that shit in the car too. You was practicing that in the car. I just know you were. That's what Stormy telling Tisha. Because y'all know Tisha ain't really about that life. You know Tisha, of course, had to practice it or write it out and try to memorize shit. And misspelled every bit of it. So Marceau then tells Tisha to hush, okay? Like he her daddy. He giving daddy vibes over there. Now he telling Tisha she needs to hush. Okay, and Tisha says that that's not fair, that she gonna keep coming for me, okay? But I'm like, Tisha, but you was the aggressor. You was the one that doing all that clapping and coming for Stormy like that. Talking about she gonna pay invoices. So Carlos kind of calms them down and says, okay, guys, okay. So then Stormy snaps off and says the bitch was practicing in the car. She's still going on that. So Tisha says, go pop some pills, girl, and shut up. Telling Stormy, I said, pop some pills? Like, Stormy, girl, let me find out you be at the pharmacy too much, girl. So Carlos was like, popping pills, huh? Like, where'd that come from? So then Stormy grabs her chest and said, oh, child, she was trying to be funny, like, oh, child, like, girl, that didn't hurt me. Like, that was a weak jab. So Marceau then tells Tisha, says, look now, you going too far, okay? Like, he about to take his belt off on her on stage. Look now, you're going too far. Like, Mr. be talking to Celie. That's how he was talking to her. I said, ugh. So then Carlos says to Stormy, says that when you saw this copy and paste error on Tisha's website, what did you feel that needed to be addressed when you saw that? Okay. So Stormy says, let's not get into what I feel says should be addressed. I gave your ass some grace. She's pointing at Tisha, meaning I ain't take your ass and sue you for what I should have sued you for stealing my shit like that. Okay. Or whoop your ass. Because y'all know Stormy like she'll get booked. But she's like, I gave your ass some grace. That's what she was on, was talking to Tisha. So Tisha does this. Like the 3-year-old that she is. She looks away. She wouldn't even look at Stormy while Stormy was on this shit here. But she didn't say nothing. So she said that's what the F I did. She said, but we're not going to sit on this stage and act like y'all be, meaning Tisha and Marceau, didn't come here with an agenda to say the things that you said out of your effing mouth. I said, ooh, ooh. Okay, and Maurice said, whoa, and he kind of leans over in the seat. So then Tisha says, Carlos, can I answer that question for you? Question now, okay, because y'all know her grammar is off, child. So Tisha then explained, she said that she had a web designer. She's explaining about her web designer and how the web designer made the mistake, blah, blah, blah. Lies. I don't believe that. Tisha. So Tisha agrees that it was a copy and paste mistake. Carlos says that if it were me, says that I would have gone on my page and released a statement saying, that it was a mistake in what I did. All right. Said that you received a lot of backlash from that, right, Tisha? Says, the damage was already done. You should have fixed that. So, and I totally agree. But Tisha took the whole attitude of what's done is done, and I done made my money from an end wood. That's the attitude that she gave. All right. And she could have been sued. And y'all can't stand another lawsuit. Seriously. Like, that was a whole theft of her shipping policy. So Stormy says, and she says, hold on. She says, in any adversity in business that we got to sit in it and take the blame for it. Okay. She says a shipping policy ain't something that a graphic designer can be blamed for. I agree. So Tisha says it's already done. Like, she still doesn't have any remorse for what she's done. And she acting like a fucking mama up there, and I gotta say it that way. She's acting like Wanda right now, and it's thoroughly irritating that you don't see the error in your ways. Okay, Tisha, you can't be out here stealing people's stuff like that and then have you're not apologetic for the shit that you do. And even when Carlos sitting there breaking it down to you and saying you should have put an apology or something or address it on your website, you still don't see that. You are still in defense mode, and there's no reason to be. You were wrong. Accept that. And the fact that you can't accept as a grown woman that you were wrong for what you did to her, simple I'm sorry would have just covered that. But you still sitting in it because you don't want to admit you're wrong. Okay? It's already done. It was done. It's done. I already got the money for it. It's done. No. So Marceau, of course, he disagrees. Carlos kind of moves on to Kimmy. Says Maurice and Kimmy says you guys had a health scare, okay? And she and Maurice, they're getting heat for Maurice's insensitive comments regarding his need for sex from Kimmy while she was sick. Y'all know that was a huge thing this season. Production then rose tape on that, where Kimmy explains to her friend about her libido being off. Kimmy tells Maurice that she's been faking it during their intimacy, which then he wasn't feeling that. He was acting all surprised like he didn't know. Maurice is then telling Kimmy that it's a mental thing versus a physical thing for her to be sick and her libido being off and all that and not being able to give it to him when he wanted it. So to Mark having any hair to be able to ride around in her car with the top down for her hair to blow in the wind. And then production then rolls tape on Maurice having his interview with Carlos King, where he is saying that he's a person who needs sex and not wants it, but it's a need. Okay. So Carlos says that you went through something horrific, Kimmy, and we're excited that you made it out of it, meaning her cancer battle. Okay. My whole thing with Kimmy is this: with a lot of women who going through that particular situation with cancer. Somebody says my stream is going in and out. I know, guys. I apologize. I don't want to refresh because I don't want to lose you guys. I'm trying to get through the video. If you guys could please bear with me. Try to refresh on your end if you can. My apologies. Okay. All right. So my whole thing was, let me get back to what I was saying. I felt like Kimmy should have showed more of her journey this season with her cancer battle, because there are other people who are going through that. There are other people who are going through that particular situation. So I think that she should have shown more of her battle with her journey, rather, with her cancer battle versus showing this libido bullshit between she and Maurice. Because I think it kind of rubbed people the wrong way, that you were more focused on trying to please Maurice sexually versus healing and going through your journey with your battle. Okay, I think she may have talked about it maybe one or two times seriously, but I don't think she really shared her journey, which kind of rubbed people the wrong way, and even to the point where people were saying she was lying about going through said sickness. Okay, yeah. I think that's what it was. I think that people were saying that they thought Kimmy was lying. Like, we saw you on the show putting on lingerie trying to please Maurice, and you're saying at the same time you're tired and you're sick and you want to get rest. But then Maurice is saying that he want to have it 2 and 3 times a day. It seemed very insensitive to the fact that he felt that way. Which he's your wife, and your wife. Let's say it that way. He's your wife, okay? Because he act like a fucking wife sometimes. Insensitive. But Carlos then asked Kimmy to explain how the treatment affected her. Then she kind of talks about she thought that she was depressed, but then after she talked to her doctor that it was actually the side effects from the medicine that she was taking. Okay. Yeah. So Carlos then asked Maurice, says that was his penis going through a depression as well? I was like, shit. Why you want to be knowing what's going on with this man's penis like that? So because you want Kimmy to take it. You know, he was telling Kimmy that she should roll over and take it or whatever. So Maurice, of course, he just jumped right in because he didn't want to be beat up by that comment. He just jumps right in like, let me hurry up and apologize because I don't want him to tear off in my ass about this. So he says, I just want to apologize for the remark that I made. And I just want to say that I'm a different person now after all of that. So Marceau was over there clapping like this. And I was like, yeah, that's real slick of you, Maurice. Because you kind of stood on what you said all this damn season about what you said about Kimmy. Now that they get to the reunion and you're hearing that everybody's been saying this about you, now you want to hurry up and apologize and then say that you're a changed person because of that. You ain't changed that quick, because when they asked you on Fox Soul to give her an apology for what you said, you stood on what you said and said you didn't want to take it back. So if you didn't care then, what changed between then and now? That's my whole thing. Like, stop it. You want to hurry up and apologize because you don't want them tearing off on you here at the reunion. That's all it was. You didn't want to take accountability at the reunion. You didn't want them saying anything to you, Maurice. So you hurried up and apologized. And I'm kind of mad at Carlos because you didn't give him the same energy as you give everybody else. I'm just saying. So Carlos says, a lot of people think that Maurice was sexually abusing you, Kimmy. Kimmy looks like, what? And then Maurice looks like, huh? Like you didn't know that all that is being said about you, Maurice. Like, stop it. Carlos then speaks on the rollover and take it comment with Maurice, and then says that what do you say, Kimmy? Kimmy said that I enjoy a fruitful sex life. She said that I want it. That it's not just about him, that I want that part of my life back. But Kimmy, you're going through the change of life. It's not just your damn libido. It's not just the medicine. It's the fact that you are way older than Maurice. Your body is going through the change of life that most women go through at your age, okay? That's what it is, sis. That is what it is. And my thing is this, I feel like Maurice might be probably getting it out from might be getting it somewhere else because Kimmy is not able to keep up as she was years ago. Keep in mind, they dated for 7 years before they got married. Kimmy and Maurice were like bunnies. They were getting it in like bunnies back then. But now that she's a little older, and then now that she done got sick with this whole cancer thing, and she's taking this damn medicine, that kind of threw a monkey wrench in their plans, and they're not getting it like they used to. And that's bothering Maurice. And I feel like when he go and get missing like that, I think Kimmy knows. But there's nothing that she can do about it. Like she says, I don't let him go past a week without giving it to him. He's telling you he wants it twice a day. So a week, your once a week is not enough for him. So when he goes and gets missing, that's probably where he is. And I think that by now Kimmy knows that, and there's nothing that she can do. And if she doesn't want to lose him, so she just doesn't fight him on that. Like what happened to the support dog that you had? Because your husband wasn't there supporting you as he should have done. You see what I'm saying? Why do you need a support dog when you have a husband? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. And it shows the disconnect in the two of you guys' marriage. That's what it shows. It shows the disconnect between the two of you. All right. So Carlos says that when you're faking it, Kimmy, and then Maurice interrupts and says, but don't fake it. He's telling her, but don't fake it. Carlos says to Kimmy, says that I do believe that you're not the only woman who has faked an orgasm. Okay. Kimmy starts yelling, absolutely not. And there's plenty of them that fake it, that ain't sick. Okay. So she's irritated now that they are talking about her and this whole Maurice situation. So Marceau then says that if you faked it, don't tell the truth, babe. Telling Tisha, if you faked it, then please don't tell me that you faked it. So Carlos then says that so you're faking it, and at least you're pleasing your husband, then he's at peace. I was like, huh? So Kimmy then says that faking it was the best move for me. Okay, says the caviar was me actually telling him that she was faking it. All right. So Kimmy says that I should have just never told him. I was like, oh Lord. So Maurice then says, but everybody's not happy then, though. So then Maurice says, well, then don't tell. Marceau then says, well, then don't tell. Maurice then comes back and says, that's not reality, because I'm going to give you more of what you're asking for. He says, I want to make sure that you're there when I'm there. And if I need to change what I'm doing, then so be it. So Marceau then says, well, maybe you're just bad at sex. And then he kind of leans over in the chair and starts laughing. So then Maurice then says, well, maybe I am. And he looks like he's a little 5-minute man. Like he get up there and get a few pumps in and then hop off. Okay, he gives that. He gives that. So then Carlos says, Mel, you mentioned this on your you mentioned this a while back, saying that you fake your orgasms with Martell. Says all the time. Says, is that true? Melody says, yes. Okay. She couldn't wait to say yes. I said, damn. So Carlos looked like this, like, oh shit. So Martell says, lies. I said, here we go with this shit. Here we go with this hollering. All right. So then he's saying in the background, as Melody's saying yes, that she faked it. Here go Martell. And she was wet. Yes, she was wet. He doing all that. Trying to was wet. Stop. That does not equate to a woman having an orgasm, Martell. Like, you don't know a woman or her body and how it works. Okay. Just because a woman gets moist does not mean that she's having an orgasm. Some women are naturally that way. Okay. Period. That just shows that you don't know what an orgasm is, sir. All right. Wet does not mean orgasm. All right. Martell comes off, like I said, it's very selfish in bed. That's what he gives me. Martell comes off as selfish in bed. Like he wants to get his, and if you don't get yours, then oh well. That's the vibe it gives me with Martell. Okay. And that's what Mel was trying to say, that Martell always wanted her to give him fellatio. He seems like that type, like, please me, like push the head down there and please me. But then when it comes to her wanting to be pleased, then you ain't got time, or you don't want to do it. Like Mel says, she likes to be talked dirty to when they're in the mood. She likes to be talked dirty to, you know. Yeah, she likes to be talked dirty to. She like her legs by her ears, and she likes to be talked dirty to. But Martell says, I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that. But that just shows that you are not down for what she is down for. If that's your partner and you guys are trying to make it to that spot, and she's telling you that's what it's going to take to get her there, you should be saying all kinds of nasty stuff to her. That's your wife. That's your wife. Talk dirty to me. I love that shit. Get me there, okay? Yes. Ooh, get a church fan. Yes, say all of those things. As nasty as you can. That's what you should be saying to your wife. That's your wife. But then you go out and do that shit over somewhere else. You should have that energy at home. But then you're going to tell her that when you at Chris and Nell house, let's go back to that scene where you told Mel that, well, I found somebody to give me all the things that I like, and she do everything that I like. See, you making it about you. You left your marriage to go and get something somewhere else when your wife could have gave you that had you just talked dirty to her. That's all she required from you. Maybe that could have helped her have an orgasm. You never know. Sometimes it just takes more for people. That's all she asked you, but you'd rather go over here and get some bumps from coleslaw and be eating ass, and you didn't have to resort to that, Martell. You didn't have to resort to eating ass. Now you over here eating ass, and you could just stay home and got a little yang, 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 and said a few little nasty things and got what you needed. Now you walk around with brown shit in your teeth, and you divorced. See the comparison? Walk around with booty browners in your teeth, and you divorced. You dumb. But go off. Anywho, so of course, then I mentioned something about somebody wet in the bed. I was like, what the hell? Who wet in the bed? So Martell, of course, Marcel was then laughing after Melody said that she totally faked it, okay? So Martell then asked her why she's lying right now. I said, why are you lying right now? Telling Melody. Says, I got a hook and a curve. You ain't got to fake nothing. That still does not mean that she was pleased with a hook and a curve. Period. It don't mean that, Martell. He's standing up like he was the shit. He's standing up to unbutton his jacket. Girl, I got a hook and a curve. So everybody, of course, falling out laughing. Kimmy done fell out laughing. Maurice done fell out laughing. Marceau done fell out laughing. Tisha's like this. And Carlos is like this. Like, dude, it don't matter about no damn hook and no curve. Can you work the hook and the curve? Okay. Can you make the curve like it's supposed to? That's the real question. I'm not caring about no damn. That means you the form down there if you got a whole hook and a curve. Like, damn. I'm gonna get up out there because I wanted to go somewhere, and YouTube, baby, y'all not gonna monetize my shit if I say what I was just getting ready to say. I had to catch myself. But Tara, yeah, but Martell, you don't know how it works, sir. You don't know how to work, and you don't know how to work that hook or that curve. And I seriously doubt you got that down there because you be stuffing socks and shit down there. And there's no way that you can have all that dick going on down there in them tight ass shorts that you be wearing because there ain't no room to put it in. A real man will have situations going on down there because you gotta let that thing breathe, right? I mean, I got a man over here. I know what I'm talking about. When you're working with a little thing, you gotta let that thing breathe. You can't be wearing no tight ass yeast infection shorts that you be wearing, Martell. That's how I know you ain't working with nothing down there. Don't no man with a whole lot of dick game down there be wanting that shit all scrunched up like that, folded up like a letter down there. But let's move on, child. So Kim and Maurice, child, like I said, they fell back in the chair laughing. They thought the shit was funny. Melody says, it's the same way that you were faking being faithful. Like the Martell says, I wasn't faking it. I actually told you that. Melody says, you didn't tell me anything. I figured it out. All right. So Martell then says, ain't no woman that I mess with faking nothing. Carlos then says that what is it about Martell's SCX that didn't satisfy you, Mel? So everybody's looking like, oh shit, what's she about to say? So Carlos, my thing is, Carlos, why you want to know? Okay, it's given why you want to know because it sounds like this kind of crushed your dreams when Mel said that he won't please her in the bedroom because you had these, weird thoughts that Martell was like this hunky door, this hunk of a type of dude that be putting it down in the bedroom. Okay, that's the vibe that it gives. That you kind of looked at him in that way, but now it's like a disappointment for you to know that he really ain't packing shit down there. That's what it gives. So, like I said, Martell, he's on the whole, oh, ain't no woman faking it with me. He's still on that bullshit. So Carlos says that what was it about Martell's SEX that didn't make you please, Mel? So Martell then frowns up like, huh? Then Melody says that when a person's all lovey-dovey one day and then treat you bad the next day, it plays a toll on how your body responds because it does. It's SEX is a mental and a physical thing, okay? If you can get into my mental, that physical gonna be on. Women, y'all know that. I'm gonna say it again. If you can get into my mental, if you can stimulate me mentally, physically, that shit is just gonna be easy like that. I want you to me in that way. Talk dirty to me. Stimulate me mentally so that the physical can be good. And that's why it wasn't. And that's what she was trying to tell his slow ass. But if he can't read, then he damn sure can't comprehend. But yeah, so then Carlos says to Martell, did you enjoy your SEX life with Mel? And so Kimmy says, he did. Can you tell? Shut up, Kimmy. First of all, he wasn't talking to you. Talk about why you got to roll over and take it, okay? When he was asking you why you couldn't roll over and take it, you couldn't give an answer. You got mad. He is on to Martell and Mel now. He is asking Martell, did he enjoy his SEX life with Melody, okay? So nobody was talking to you, Jermaine Jackson, a.k.a. Kimmy Scott. Shut your ass up and let Martell answer his own question. You ain't his woman. How do you know what they enjoyed in the bedroom? Damn. So Martell responds, obviously. So Marceau then says the bed was wet. So then they laugh, and then Mel kind of looks like, whatever. So Carlos then says, Tisha, have you ever faked it? So then Tisha says, listen, you have to have great SEX in a marriage. So, of course, everyone has. Yeah. So she said, yes, she actually faked it with Marceau as well. So Marceau kind of looks at him like, when that had happened? So Carlos says, Stormy, have you ever faked it with Courtney? Stormy said, no. I feel you on that, girl. If you put that thing down right, you ain't got to fake shit. I don't fake shit over here, period. When I call on the Lord, I mean it. Let me get back to it. Oh, child, when I call on the Lord and all of his angels, baby, I mean it. Ain't no faking shit. It's a scoliosis type of moment. Okay, you hear that thing right, baby? You're like, shit. Motherfucker gave me scoliosis in here tonight. Jesus. Oh, Lord. Okay, y'all know. So Carlos says, Courtney. So Courtney, please, is you every day and every night? That's what he's asking Stormy. Stormy said, every time. I said, Lord, okay. All right, so Carlos said, okay. Like, damn, say no more. So at this point, they break for lunch, okay? So they break for lunch. Each of them go back to their dressing room so they can eat their lunch. Cameras do follow them into their rooms. Tisha and Marceau, they're in their dressing room, and Marceau and Tisha, they're fussing. And Marceau's fussing Tisha out, telling her that she was doing way too much on stage. Tisha was saying that you always say that I'm doing too much, but they be coming for me. She says, in season 1, I was quiet and I let people just say stuff that they wanted to say. She says, but I feel like they can, I feel like that they're not going to keep coming for me. So Tisha says, I'm a businesswoman, but I can't let people keep coming for me. I was like, when you became a businesswoman, didn't you just say that you were a stay-at-home mom? But okay, girl, go in there and fry up them eggs. If you want to call frying eggs and pouring Kool-Aid business, then go ahead and go and do that, girl. So Marceau then says, but yeah, you can though. Yeah, you can. If they come for you, just let them come for you. Like, you ain't got to go word for word with somebody. So Tisha says, no, I'm tired of it, Marceau. So Marceau said he does this whole speech about this plane, and if a plane crash, I was like, why we always got to get the long way around with Marceau when he says something? Just get to the point. Why you got to talk about a plane flying up in the sky, and does a plane have to crash before? I was like, nigga, shut up. Tisha's over there filling her jaws up over there like she ain't ate in 30 days and 30 nights. I said, girl, why is you eating so much? That's why your ass be having all these damn surgeries the way you be eating, Tisha. You sit up and eat a whole damn buffet. She was cramming the food in her mouth. Then you take your ass over there and get another BBL and another tummy tuck after you ate 45 pieces of damn chicken in 2 seconds. Like, girl, stop eating so damn much. Shit. So then Courtney and Stormy, they're back in their room, in their dressing room, and Courtney is asking Stormy how she felt about Tisha and the situation of her coming for Stormy, okay? So Stormy says that she thinks that it's funny how Tisha has all these how Tisha has all these balls at the reunion, but not the entire season during the show. Says that she practiced all of that on the plane in terms of what she said. So Courtney says that I didn't even know that she talked. Says that now to see her talk, like that's crazy. So then Stormy says that I ain't got time for that. Says that we're not the same, and we never will be, and you'll never be able to do what I do. I was like, what? Go to court every day? Because y'all know this, Stormy, you stay in court too, okay? court, Stormy, you stay in court too, quiet as kept. So to say that they can never do what you do, they be in court a lot too. So she kind of is doing what you do indirectly. So then Stormy says, and you'll never do what I've done. What? Take people money and not send them their product? Tisha do that shit too. But go off. So and she took your damn shipping policy too and made a corn off of it. All right. But so Marceau, back to Marceau and Tisha. So Marceau then tells Tisha to don't let Stormy get under her skin. Tisha was like, well, she not under my skin. I just want to let her know to just shut the F up talking to me like that, okay? But I was like, Tisha, you be all buck, but you stay on the cluck, okay? Y'all know what that means. You buck, but you a whole chicken out here. You ain't trying to be putting paws on nobody, Tisha. You gonna be the first one crying because that's exactly what you do. As soon as somebody try to correct you and tell you about yourself, you start that crying. You be on the buck, but you really on that cluck, girl. Stop it. Tisha's a crybaby. So Stormy said, bitch, I tried to give you grace. She back on that again. I tried to give you grace with the hand again. Meaning not suing your ass for stealing my shit like that, okay? I was like, girl, if you said it one more time, I'm gonna need you to get another line. You said that on stage. Now you backstage on the still. I gave you grace. She said, now I'm finna give you hell. I'm like, Tisha not in here, okay? That's just Courtney sitting over there, Stormy. Calm down. She talking like Tisha was sitting right there. I tried to give you grace. Now I'm about to give you hell. I was like, okay, girl. Tisha not in here. She can't hear you. Like, are you practicing? Are you practicing right now, Stormy, okay? Courtney, he just kind of sitting there looking like, all right. And then he starts laughing. All right, so then in Maurice then goes over to Martell's dressing room, all right, to kind of speak to him because y'all know the two of them, child. Melda said she was faking it, and then to hear that Kimmy was faking it, child, both their egos are bruised, so they done went in there to lick each other's wounds at this point. Martell done took that tight-ass suit off, child, because y'all know he couldn't breathe, so he had to be able to breathe backstage. So he said he took it off so that he could eat and not get nothing on it. But really, we know he took it off because it was scrunching the jewels, and he couldn't breathe back there, all right? So he got on these little tight-ass jogging pants and the T-shirt that he had on under the suit. So Maurice then comes in and he says that he stopped by to see how Martell was doing. No, you stopped by to get your wounds licked because Kimmy thoroughly embarrassed your ass when she told everybody she was faking it with you. And then everybody talking about that you not, good at sex or whatever. So you looking kind of stupid right now. So Melody, then they go to Melody's dressing room where she's in there and she says that Martell was pounding on his chest like, I'm the man, and I know I'm the man. She says, but you can't tell me what my body felt, okay? She was saying, you can't tell me what my body felt or, if you please me or not, you can't. So then they go back to Martell's dressing room. Martell says, I can't believe that she said that she faked it during SCX. He says, and I know for a fact that she's lying. And then he says that Kimmy ain't fit to be lying, though. That's what Martell is telling Maurice. Maurice then says, no, she's not. So then Maurice then says that Kimmy says that she faked it. And I thought maybe that he's not as good as, and I thought maybe that he's not as good as I thought he was. Okay. Maurice, he was feeling away because she says that she faked it. So he's not feeling like that maybe he is not good in bed as he thought he was as good. Because y'all know that's what he ran around thinking that he was a man like that. So for Kimmy to say that and publicly, it really bruised his ego. So he is over there like feeling away. Martell then says that just because you last for 15 hours, that don't make you good. And I said, well, just because you lasted 14 years with Mel and just because you lasted 14 years with Mel, that don't mean that it was good either, because she said that she faked it the entire time and that the SCX wasn't that good. All right, so put your tight suit back on, Martell, and you can shut on up too. All right, Martell's ego was crushed, and so was Maurice's. So they were sitting in there, child, trying to hug it out and get through it together, child. Like two distressed women, honey, with broken hearts, child. They was in there on their brandy, broken hearted, because both their asses broken hearted. So they're back on stage again. The cast, they're back on stage again. This time it's all the ladies plus Marceau. Okay, he's a lady too, child. Dude look like a lady. All right. So so of course Marceau is there to join the ladies because y'all know he has to referee everything that Tisha says. Tisha, I don't think he trusts Tisha to be on. Child, yes, broken hearted. Yeah. So Marceau, like I said, was on stage with Tisha because I don't feel like he is comfortable with Tisha being on stage and being able to talk freely and say things without him being able to sit there and clock her and tell her what to say and not to say. So he's sitting there beside Tisha, the only male on stage, which that kind of looked a little moist of you to do that, sir. You should have had your ass backstage with all the other men and let the women have their moment. But of course, he's got to always be in the middle of women business like that, and that just wasn't given. Okay. So Carlos then says, Marceau says that Marceau's quirky nature got him in a lot of trouble this season, okay? So production then rolls tape back on Marceau all up in women's business, okay? Marceau, like I said, purposely gets into women's business because he's a bitch for the camera time, okay? He's in so much debt, and he strategically, and this is my thought, Marceau, he's in so much damn debt that he strategically puts himself in bitter dragouts with women to gain more camera time on the show. I figured it out. That's what he does. Marceau and Tisha are in so much debt. Okay, one, if y'all are watching in the bushes, yes, I said that shit. Marceau and Tisha are in so much debt until he strategically puts himself in situations with women on the show in order to get more camera time, because we all know that if they don't film, then they don't get a check. So he strategically puts himself in every situation with every single woman on the show so that he can always be seen and make sure he's getting a check. He does that. He had a knockdown drag out with Mel. He done got into it with Stormy. He done got into it with Kiki. He done even got into it with Kimmy. And he also got into it with Tiffany. That's everybody on the fucking show. Every woman on the show he done got into it with, okay? He fights with everybody because he wants to be seen and get a check. That's his way of strategically making sure that he can secure a check for the show. Boom, I figured this shit out. That's why he do it. I don't see nobody else on the show doing that. He would strike up a conversation and or argument with every woman on the show, and the shit don't even be making no sense. But he would jump in, he'll jump in somebody else's situation when it ain't got nothing to do with him. Case in point, when Martell was fussing at Tiffany at Black, that situation was strictly between Tiffany and Martell. What did Marceau do? Made it about him. He jumped into the situation to make it about him so that he could get camera time as well. And then he turned around and put himself in the middle of it again at Tiffany's baby shower, when once again the situation was between Martell and Tiffany. But he jumped right into the middle because he need that camera time for that money. Yeah. Why you telling Tisha to run over there to rent a center and get some furniture? He like, hold up, baby. I'm gonna go start some shit over here with Stormy. As soon as she called me a bitch, I'm going in, and we're gonna be able to get this furniture tomorrow. Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And as soon as she called me a bitch, we're gonna have some new furniture tomorrow. And that's how he thinks. Broke ass. Oh, don't y'all like how I figured that out? All right, so then they show Marceau popping off with everyone on the show, okay, per production. All right, so they show him coming for Stormy, asking for the $100. So I said, Carol, you be on point. That's some shit. He starts some shit to get a check. All right, so he goes to Stormy and asks for that $100. All right, he gonna start some shit with her. Then the shade that he threw on Mel when he went out to dinner with the Fletchers, okay, talking about Melody only sells just t-shirts. All right, so then he had this little lunch meeting with Mel, and so he started some shit with her and threw some jabs with her. Okay, now so Carlos then says that who by a show of hands thinks that Marceau inserts himself in women's business. Okay. So everybody's like, boom. Everybody raised their hand like, yes, honey, I thought you would never ask. Okay, everybody except Tisha. Because you know how she raised her hand, she probably got popped backstage when he went backstage. So she didn't raise her hand, even though she knows that Marceau stays in some shit with women. Okay, she know. All right, so Kimmy says he's in everybody's business, okay? So Marceau then says that I speak on everything. Like, nigga, we know. That's the problem. Shut your ass up sometimes, okay? And he said that women are more vocal than men. This is what Marceau was saying. Women are more vocal than men. Then when they want a man's opinion, they ask me. Whoever asked you anything, you insert yourself. It's like you got this weird, you hearing voices maybe. I think Marceau be hearing voices and say, Marceau, they're talking about you. And he go and jump in some shit. Like it has nothing to do with you. But then when somebody ready to get on your ass real good, like Kiki's husband was about to do after that drink toss, then you be running like a little girl. He ran around that table like ring around the rosy. He was getting the hell up out of there. He ain't never gonna put hands on nobody. But he got a little slick mouth where he always want to insert himself. He don't want to fight nobody. He just want that chick. That's how he is. He ain't never gonna fight nobody. He ain't never gonna be on his rah-rah. He ain't gonna never be on that shit. But he gonna throw a few slick subliminals around and some slick little comments around. Okay, just to kind of get him a little check up in there. Then he gonna go sit his ass down and have that little smirk on his face to make somebody want to slap his ass. But so Kimmy then says, somebody asked you something? Says that's not what happens, okay? So Carlos says that when you asked Stormy for the $100, she said, don't touch me. Do you feel like she was actually calling you a bitch? Marceau says, I was offended. Then I learned her culture. See, that's the shade. All right, so Kimmy kind of drops her head. Mel looks like, wow. And then Carlos looks like, damn, when he said that. So Carlos says, so Stormy says that I didn't know that you were another culture other than African American. Do you call other men bitches besides Marceau? Okay. Stormy then says that not if they don't act like one. So Tisha says, she kind of smirks like this, and then she shakes her head like, So then Stormy says the term bitch is used for someone who has an extra amount of sass, who has an extreme amount of sass. Okay. She says, and Marceau does things to gaslight and get a reaction, which he does. Says that men don't act like that. They're more, they have more of integrity and not always poking for camera time. Okay. So then Stormy then also goes on to say that that's something that a bitch would do. And if that's what he likes to do, then Marceau's a bitch. I said, well, damn. She don't see it for his ass at all. So then Carlos says, Tisha, you allow Stormy to call your husband a bitch a lot. And a lot of people have been asking, like, why does Tisha allow Stormy to be calling her husband a bitch? So Tisha says, Storm is a grown woman. And I have a problem with the woman that feel comfortable calling another black man. Now, why are we making it a color thing? Okay, it don't matter who you are, what race, color, creed, or that you are. Any man could be a bitch if he act like that. So it ain't a black thing, Tisha. She says that. She said I have a problem with the woman feeling comfortable calling another black man a bitch. Says that it makes me question, not question, what goes on in her household. She says that I feel that. She says I feel for Stormy. She said I feel sorry for Courtney. She says, Courtney, blink twice if you need help. All right. Wah, wah, wah. That was bomb, Tisha. Okay. So Stormy says that we've been feeling sorry for you, Tisha. So Tisha says that black men just do so much and get disrespected in this world. Mel was looking like, excuse me? I was like, child. So then Stormy says, and black men do too. Like, girl, stop it. So Tisha says, my husband wouldn't allow that. Okay. So Marceau says that I don't value Stormy's words enough to care. Obviously you do because you said that it offended you. All right. I would have to care to be offended. I said that shit before. You can say a million crazy shit about me. You can say all kinds of crazy shit about me. But if I don't care, then it don't bother me. So you just said that it offended you, Marceau, but now you're turning around like the bitch that you are and says that I don't value Stormy's words enough to care. You actually do. So Carlos says that why don't the two of you get along, meaning Stormy and Marceau? Okay, and my thing is the reason why Stormy and Marceau don't get along is because Stormy fights back. Marceau don't like women that challenge him. Okay, Tisha don't ever challenge him. He's not used to that. So when Mel does it, it bothers him because he can't get a rise out of her. He's not used to women standing up to him. He's used to running over women and getting the last word. So when Stormy comes for him and calls him a bitch, it bruises his ego. And he don't have no recourse because she's touched him in a place that he ain't never been touched. And she's able to silence him and put him in a space to where he don't really have a comeback when Stormy comes for him. And Mel can do it too, but she does it so eloquently and so, corporate-like till he can't really get with Mel like that because he know that Mel know her shit. And it's the same with Stormy. And he knows that Stormy don't really care. Stormy don't care. Stormy will say any old thing. And he's not really a match for Stormy. Okay. He can do that with Tiffany because Tiffany is real, like, kind of dense a little bit. And she don't really have that comeback. But he don't try that like that with Stormy. And he don't really come for Mel like that because them two, they will always come back and read his ass down. Okay. Yeah. All right. So Marceau then says that Stormy's insecure when it comes to her being in the spotlight. Says that she needs to get, she has to get it negatively, meaning, that shine or whatever, that clout. Says that she shows out to get that attention. Okay. And I was like, didn't you just describe yourself, Marceau? That sounds like you that you're describing, not her. So then Carlos says, do you agree, Stormy? Stormy says, no. Says it, I was known way before I stepped foot on Love and Marriage Huntsville. So Tisha goes, like she don't agree. All right, being rude and disrespectful always. So Stormy says that you can actually Google me. Says, so Marceau, he then kind of grins and kind of looks at the floor like, yeah, okay. And she says that y'all be trying to downplay that. And when I say y'all, I'm referring to y'all too. So she was pointing at Marceau and Tisha. Marceau says, yeah, I downplay it. So then Stormy says that me and Courtney never had to fight for the spotlight. Okay. And then she goes, I was like, girl, why you stealing my stuff over here? All right. You know, that's my thing over here. When I fling my bangs, y'all know that's me over here. So Carlos then says that Marceau says that Marceau, you diminished Mel's business by saying that all she did was sell t-shirts. Then you sat with her, then you sat with her and you said that you actually respected what she did, although the fact that you do it as well. So you sell t-shirts too, but then you said you didn't respect the fact that Melody do it when you actually do it. Can you explain that? That's what Carlos was saying. So Melody kind of interrupts and she kind of gives him this big t-shirt saying that I just sell t-shirts, okay? Which it looks like a size 2X size according to what Marceau was saying. Marceau then jokingly says that her raggedy self gonna get it in a 2X too. So Melody says, I got it in a 2. Well, I'm saying Melody got it in a 2X so it could fit across them damn titties and them hips that Marceau got over there. Okay. That was me. So Marceau then throws the t-shirt back at Melody because he didn't want to keep it. And everybody just kind of laughs. It was like a little ha-ha moment. So Carlos then says to Melody, says, do you feel that Marceau tried to diminish you saying that, Mel? So Melody says she says it's so far from the truth that it's just comical for me. Okay. So Marceau says, I give credit where it's due. Carlos says that you don't give credit to women though. So Marceau then says, absolutely. So Carlos says that Tisha says that Marceau brought up, hold on. So Carlos says, Tisha, Marceau brought up that Marceau didn't want you to get close to her because she will rub off on you to be a strong, independent woman. Says that, do you feel that Marceau doesn't want you to be successful in all of his businesses? Okay, so Tisha says no. She says that I'm on all of his businesses. That's a lie because I pulled up something on one of my lives where I proved that Tisha is not on all. Tisha is not on. I think it's Black. Tisha, I don't think Tisha's name is on Black. Okay, it's either Black. I have to pull up my receipts on that. She's not on all of his businesses, and I know that to be fact because I pulled that information. Okay. Yeah. But she says, I'll do all that I want to do. So Melody, she says, Mel knows that I'm successful too. And Mel kind of looks like, do I? So that was funny. So Marceau then says, no, I said that I don't want you to work. Okay. I mean, he don't want Tisha to work. So Carlos then says, and you said that you don't want to be a power couple too, Marceau. So Mel then asked Kimmy to kind of co-sign what she has said to Marceau, which Kimmy was kind of looking like she was giving kind of stank face, like she really didn't want to say anything. So Carlos says Martell is cool with so hold on. Says that Marceau is cool with Tisha having 3 degrees, but not working and doing anything. Okay. So Marceau then says that there's a master plan to keep things how we agreed from day one. And if Tisha decides to do something else, then he's pretty much not supportive, which I think that's some bullshit. Okay. Yeah, I see y'all putting it there. Her name is not on Black. So your name is not on all the businesses, Tisha. It's not. Your name is not on all the businesses. I'm sorry to go and throw you out there, sis, but it's not. All right. So Tisha says, I have my own goals and desires. So then Mel chimes in and says, you better stick to them too, Tisha. Okay. So Carlos mentions that Tisha mentioning being a stay-at-home mom. So Marceau then says that she actually has a choice if that's what she wants to do. So Tisha says that she don't get caught up in titles. But my thing is, Tisha, you always running around saying that you're a boss. I'm a boss. I'm a boss woman. I got this and so you are kind of pressed on titles, Tisha. You are. I've heard you plenty of times say that you are a boss, and you are not a boss. You are a stay-at-home mom with 3 ICDC college degrees, sis. And let me roll my eyes on that. All right, so then Tisha says that I come from a family that's hard-working women. And I was like, when that happened? When did boosting become hard work? Because that's what your mama used to do. Okay. Wanda is a lunch lady who puts corn on the tray and sweep up and drive around on live sucking her teeth, okay, and fucking up the English language, okay. That's what it gives. That is the example that you have while you talking about you come from a family of hardworking women. Let's start with your mama, because she ain't hardworking. That ain't hard work to be sending young people out there to go boosting and bringing the money back. That's not hard work while she's sitting her fat ass at home doing nothing. Did I go there? I'm feeling a little petty tonight, y'all. But boosting is not hard work, because that's what your mama used to do, allegedly. Okay. I can put receipts on that shit too. All right, so Marceau then says, a family full of Rogers trying to be smart. So Melody then says to Marceau, uncross your legs, Marceau, while you trying to be funny. Said that you on the right panel too. You sassier than me. I said, okay. So Carlos then laughs at Melody and what she had to say. And then Melody does one of my things. She goes and then rolls her eyes. I was like, yes. So then Tisha says that it's a lot. And she gave up a little bit of herself after having kids. Okay, it's a lot. I kind of gave up a lot, after I had the kids. So Carlos says that, is it your fear that your wife will turn into Melody? Talking to Marceau. So then Marceau says, what, a single woman? Yes. Says, I don't want to be divorced. See that, Shane? And I'm thinking, Marceau, of course not. Of course you don't want to be divorced, okay? Because your ass gonna be right back in that fucking movie theater, and you're gonna be right back at Target wearing that red shirt, going out there getting all them buggies out the parking lot. Because he used to work at Target after he got fired from the movie theater. Yes, I said it. You don't want to be divorced because you ain't got no fucking credit. First of all, everything is in Tisha's name, okay? Except some of the one of the businesses her name ain't on, but everything is pretty much in Tisha's name. And Marceau is running everything into the ground. So while you're sitting there talking about you don't want her to be divorced, no, you don't want to be divorced, because you would not make it if Tisha was not your wife, because Tisha is pretty much running everything behind the scenes. You want to be in the forefront because you want to look like the boss, but Tisha is really running things behind the scenes, pretty much. Of course you don't want to be divorced. So Marceau then says that my fear is Tisha becoming something in the public eye, and losing the 3 most important things, which is her kids. Okay. He says she can't be a PTA office for the kids. And Melody says, hold on. That's not true. She says, because I can travel around the world. I do fashion shows. I do speaking engagements. I do PTOs and etc. She says, and I'm still present with my kids, and I make breakfast too. So if I can do it, then Tisha can do it too. So Marceau, while Mel is checking him and saying that, y'all know anytime Marceau gets checked, he does this right here. He drops his head and he kind of looks over his eyes like this right here, because he knows his ass has been checked. Have anybody else noticed that besides me? When Melody read his ass and told him that, he dropped his head and starts kind of looking down, and he's looking over like this right here, because he knows that his ass been got when Melody said that. Okay, so Tisha kind of looked annoyed at Melody when she said that as well, because it's the truth. Melody does it all. She does it. She will fly out of the country and come back and still be at school when the kids got something going on. She is always doing it. And I got to vouch for her on that, because I've seen it. I follow her on social media and I've seen it. All right. So Carlos says, Marceau says that, thanks for letting the ladies give you constructive criticism. Okay. So Carlos then also says that Tisha and says that Kiki and Tisha's up next. Says that Kiki, you're looking just like Letitia. All right. They kind of do favor a little bit. They do. Them are some strong jeans. I can't even front on that. So then Kiki says that this is my signature color, meaning purple. Anybody know her? She likes purple. She says, and plus I look like me, meaning I don't look like Tisha. So Marceau, he kind of grins like a little schoolgirl, and Martell, he kind of laughing too. So Tisha says that she likes to hear that, meaning that you look like Tisha. So Kiki says that she could never. So then Kiki then goes back and says, well, she is beautiful though. So then Carlos asks Kiki and Tisha, says that, are you guys going to be burning the hatchet, or are you going to be putting it in each other's back? All right, so production then rolls tape on Tisha and Kiki's woes this season and what they've gone through, including the drink toss. All right. So Carlos then says that Kiki says to Kiki, says, Kiki, why did you break your pact on speaking on Tisha's marriage? Okay. So the person who brought the information of the threesome and some other girl, and Marceau actually having a threesome with some other girls, says that it was actually, I mentioned it to Mel because we were actually having a conversation, and Mel asked me how me and Tisha were doing. That's the only reason that I mentioned it to Mel. That's what Kiki was saying. So Tisha says that she don't come off as somebody concerned though, meaning Kiki. So Kiki interrupts her and says, calling Tisha dumb. So Tisha says, please stop calling me out of my name. Okay. I said, here we go. So Kiki says, dumb, calling Tisha dumb. So Kiki then goes on to say that I'm not going to be in denial about it, okay? So Tisha says, what am I in denial about? And then so Carlos asked the same question to Kiki. What is she in denial about? Kiki says, by having a cheater on your arm. So Tisha then says, I've never come to her 14, 16, 18 years. She says that, hold on. She said, I've never come to her in 14, 16, 17, or 18 years. I said, see, there go that ICDC college education popping in, because you done skipped all over 15, girl. How you done jump from 14 to 16 to 17 and 18? All right. It's 14, 15, 16, 17, then 18, okay? I don't know if they taught you that in ICDC college, girl, but you don't know how to count. So then Tisha, she went on to, I don't know if Tisha went to school for 2 days like Wanda or not, child, but anywho. So Tisha says that she, meaning Kiki, cheated on her husband, says that her husband cheated on her plenty of times, okay? At which everybody's like, oh my God. So she says that she even paid for him to go out on a date with somebody else when they first started dating. So she's trying to throw all Kiki's business out there because she's feeling away now, all right? So Martell then face palms, put his face down, and then he kind of smiles. Kiki kind of looks like, oh, really? Like, whatever, girl. Like, that's a whole lie. So I don't, you know what kind of pissed me off with the reunion with Kiki though, because like you popped off the entire season. I wanted to see that same energy throughout the reunion. Like why she came there and allowed Tisha to kind of pop off and say shit like that to her. You should have talked on her ass again like you did at the damn cookout. Like that's all I'm saying. Don't sit there and allow her to be popping off on you and just saying all type of shit to you, and you don't pop back at her, because Tisha need to be put in her place. Tisha feels like for some odd reason this reunion that she can come out and just throw everybody's shit out there, and then as soon as somebody try to say something about her and Marceau, she want to overtalk them. Like, girl, no. But Kiki, she just kind of shakes her head after Tisha says that, and then of course we know there is a cliffhanger there because the actual first part of the reunion ends there. All right, I'll give it an 8, and not even a strong 8. I'll rate it an 8. Okay. All right, so coming up for part 2, we're going to go ahead and do that right quick, and then I'm going to let you guys go. So coming up for part 2 of Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion, Melody is going to be telling Martell, she says in the court case that you were asked if you were in a relationship with Sheree, and you said no in court documents, okay? Martell starts just blowing. He goes, and he kind of looks nervous because Melody is airing him out and talking about court documents. All right. So Melody says that Martell told the courts that it was a business arrangement between he and Sheree, which we already knew that. Anybody that was watching it already knew that their relationship was fake and a whole business arrangement. Martell looks like Martell, he kind of sits there and looks like that's the first time that he ever heard that. He jumps up and he walks off stage with his tight ass suit. So he walking fast as hell with his damn tight ass suit hugging him. And he said, you're such a liar. You're such an effing liar. That's what he's telling Melody as he's walking out. Melody says, no, I'm not. Says that you're actually a liar as well, okay? So then Louis and Tiffany, they're there at the reunion as well. Carlos then asked Tiffany, when people call her a Karen, does it offend her? So Tiffany says that I don't know which way to kind of take it coming from them on the other side of the room, talking about Marceau and Martell, all right? In which Martell says, well, it's negative. And then Marceau then says that, oh, I'm people now. He's trying to be a smart ass. So then Stormy kind of comes for Melody, which I didn't like that, and says that people going to talk. She says that they were all under your post, and Melody interrupted and says, and I didn't know that. So she said, and so then Betty Kruger, which is Stormy's mama, she's there, and she's kind of, looking all crazy like a damn disturbed Chucky doll with this red hair with all this damn oil sheen sprayed on it in the front. she's coming for Melody as well. She said that you didn't take the time to read it on your tweets. That's what she said to Melody. So then Stormy says that you can say that you don't know, but I know that you did, Mel. So Melody tells Betty Kruger, honey, she says, Miss Betty, she says, you have enough going on with your own family. She says, worry about that, okay? So then Betty says, handle your business. And Melody says to her, well, she says, get out of this one. Melody tells Betty, which is Stormy's mama, get out of this one, get out of this business. So then Betty tells Melody, she says that you still arguing with this man about a divorce that happened 3 years ago. So mind your business. I was like, no, the fuck she didn't. So Melody responds by saying that I'm trying to be respectful, but I'm not here for you. Okay, that's what she tells Betty, honey. And I was like, oh, child, I needed to be there. I wanted Melody to read her ass a little bit better than that, because Betty, I don't even know why the hell you was even there, sis. Why you even coming for her? Melody, she can argue. She would choose to argue at Martell's ass 365 days a mother freaking year. She has a right to do that. What does that have to do with you? Worry about your own family and why your family ain't have speaking to each other, and why y'all are in the shit that y'all are in, and on TV faking family drama. That's all that shit is fake. Fake. It's fake family drama for TV time. That's all it is. Didn't nobody believe that mess. I don't know why Betty was there. I need to see Miss Van on the reunion. They could take Betty's ass up off there. We don't want to see her because she is very problematic and very fucking disrespectful. And Melody be trying to hold back and not disrespectful, but I'm like this. I don't give a damn who mama she is. If you come at me the wrong way and you talking shit to me, baby, it's flying out. I'm not getting ready to be holding back, and I ain't even gonna call you miss. You probably gonna be called a bitch. You might be called that. If you're acting in that way, I'm gonna have to give it to you in that way. The energy you give me is the energy that you will receive. But that is the review, you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining, all 700 and something of you guys in the chat. I appreciate you guys being here as well. Hopefully everyone hit the like button. My apologies for the stream, y'all acting a whole fool up here, guys. I will take a look, and I'm gonna definitely be sending them email here in a few minutes and let them know y'all need to fix my shit. But thank y'all for being here. Thank you, Chef Don for being here. Thank you, Harold. He is a mod for Chef Don. That's the homie. Thank you guys for being here as well. Girlfriend Chronicles, thank you for being here as well. If there's any other content creators that joined us in the live, thank y'all for being here as well. Mods, thank y'all for doing a great job of keeping the trolling down. And all my Caramelians, thank you guys for supporting the channel as such, okay? Thank you for any cash apps or any super stickers that you guys have given to support the channel. See you guys tomorrow for Car Chronicles. Car Chronicles is in the morning. I will see you guys then. You guys sleep well, be blessed, and goodbye.